Welcome to TYT Sports, everybody. Ben Mankiewicz, Chris List, managing editor of RotoWire. The MVP race right now appears to be a two-man race between Tom Brady, he's the quarterback of the New England Patriots, and Aaron Rodgers. That's not an interesting conversation. I mean, it's a limited conversation. Right now, you can pick. You can make a case for either one. They're both compelling cases.
Yeah.
So let's talk about who else could win this race. Because I have a definite thought. There's no chance they will. Let me say one thing first. Here's who might win that no one is talking about right now. Don't forget that going into this season, everybody thought the best quarterback was Andrew Luck. And if that team pulls itself out, goes 11-5 or 12-4, wins the division, he's going to have had a phenomenal year. And and when you look at the weaknesses that they have, the terrible personnel choices that they made, if they win, it's going to be solely because of him.
It will, but he won't get the credit entirely because they'll have a softer schedule because the division's weak, and his coaches will hold him back. I just think like the way they run that organization, his per-play numbers are just never going to touch what Rodgers and Brady are doing.
And also Brady will have the benefit this year of probably the best that the AFC East has been, or one of the best years the AFC East was. There doesn't, as silly as the Dolphins look, there probably isn't a gimme game in that division.
They're as good as the second best team in the AFC South for sure.
That's right. Okay, so what are you thinking?
All right. Well, I got a couple that I think are plausible. One is Rob Gronkowski. I mean, if he scores 23 or 24 touchdowns, and let's say Brady throws 40, okay, and has a great year, but he's 7.8, 7.9 YPA, nothing historic. Throws for 48, 4,900, 5,000 yards. Great, but in this day and age, it's not historic. And Gronk has a historic year for tight ends. Gets like 1,300 yards, and as I said, 20, 22, 24 touchdowns. I think he's got a chance.
Yeah, I think he's got a chance too. The guy I'd pick right now, mostly to be contrarian, but also because it's not interesting to me to pick quarterbacks to win the league. You should just have they should just have the best quarterback award. They may. No one knows what it is. No one.
Well, yeah.
So I would say Julio Jones right now. This is the most dominant receiver. The other, Roddy White is, I think, 52 now. Leonard Hankerson is their other receiver there. I don't know who the tight end is. And those running backs, Freeman has looked pretty good. But that is a team that, I mean, everybody knows, oh, man, like you saw it against Dallas. Dallas with a pretty good defense thought, all we got to do is stop Julio Jones. And it could not be done. All right, he's got 440 yards through 3 games, been targeted 46 times, 34 catches. These are gigantic numbers.
He's on pace for 181 catches. He also, in that game, Matt Ryan threw 35 passes. 20 of them went in Julio Jones' direction. 5 went in Devonta Freeman's direction. He also had 30 carries. So between the two of them, they got 71% of the targets and 100% of the carries. There's like 2 guys. You wonder why they did well in fantasy. There's nobody else getting any looks.
Yeah, so, and I thought going into this season that Julio Jones was going to have a monster year. I know I'm not alone there, but I can't believe in the 2 leagues that I play, I managed not to get him in either one.
I have him in 0 leagues, but he's been a little gimpy. That's the one hope you have is he's been gimpy.
I would throw the Roethlisberger injury changes things, but I think Antonio Brown would have sort of belonged in that same kind of conversation before the injury. But as we saw last night, without Roethlisberger, he's not the same player.
I'll throw out one more guy that's kind of weird, but Carson Palmer has been very good so far. He's something like 16-2 in his last 18 games when he started. Arizona is at least. They've got an offensive line. Larry Fitzgerald looks 5 years younger. John Brown's been a little dinged up, but he should emerge. Larry Fitzgerald was just on the radio show after us on XM saying that John Brown's the fastest guy he's ever seen play in pads. And, what if he lights it up and they go 14-2 or 13-3 and they have his better record than Green Bay or New England or just as good, and his numbers are 7.8 YPA and he's only thrown 11 picks and he's got 32 touchdowns.
Yeah, but
I think it's a long shot, but I think he's not as good as those guys, but also he was sort of one of the best QBs in the league before his litany of injuries.
If this were baseball and that happened, he'd win. Because even though the numbers won't be as good, because he'll be on the best team and he's a big guy you didn't really expect to do well. And look, he hit 306 with 27 home runs and 90 runs batted, and he stole some bases and he was good. And then you'd be like, hey, Miguel Cabrera hit 360, right? And hit 45 home runs. I think he should win. And they'll be like, no, you don't understand. David Freese.
Right.
But he's a little bit of that. But I hear you. That's an excellent pick. But there's no way at the end of the year, his numbers won't compare to Rodgers.
They won't. They won't. They're not likely to. But they could be good.
Yeah.
So.
And I love the idea. I have.
And Rodgers and Brady could both get injured. What if they miss 4 or 5 games each?
That's true. Then all bets are off. I have a couple $100 on the Cardinals to win the Super Bowl, and that feels like a That feels like a nice bet.
You feel good about that
There's
now?
a big payday
Yeah.
at that, so that's a nice thing. All right, there you go. A couple other potential choices. Interestingly, in a sign of the times of the NFL, nobody mentioned a running back.
Yeah.
Nobody mentioned
Or
a running
anyone on defense.
back. Please. Defense.
There's nobody like J.J. Watt. If J.J. Watt is so good, why are the Texans
Why are they winning?
9-7 every,
Well, right,
every year?
Right.
At best.
They'd be lucky to be 9-7
right.
the way things look this year.
Right.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Subscribe below. Chris, thank you.